everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have some new projects for you with my newest set from Gina K Designs, fabulous holiday labels. You might be noticing a few images that look a little bit different than the ones that I've been using the last couple weeks. That's because today, in addition to the fabulous holiday labels set, I'm mixing them up with one of my coordinating sets, fabulous holiday fillers. So this is going to be really fun for making all of your tags and your ornaments and things for Christmas. I'm also using the fabulous labels dies, also from Gina K Designs. So I'm going to show you some ways that you can make removable tags or ornaments for your card projects, or if you want to use these for making little photo ornaments or tags. The products that you're going to need, in addition to those two stamp sets and those label dies, I've just got some different blocks here. I've got a 3-inch round grid line block and then a couple smaller ones. I like to have a really tiny one for the small elements so I don't have to worry about rocking the stamp. The cardstock that I'm using today, I've got some Gina K Pure Luxury Ocean Mist. So I've got two different backgrounds that I'm going to be making for these bases today. And I'm using some of the Gina K Pure Luxury layering weight. These are 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then we've just got some scraps for those die cut tags. And then if you wish, you can also use some Kraft for making that ornament. And then I just have a silver lining scrap that was too small for making a mat out of, so I'm going to use it to make a mat for these fabulous label die cuts. The ink that we're going to be using today, I've got the coordinating Gina K Ocean Mist. And then in addition to that, we're going to use the dark chocolate, the red hot, and then you can also use the white pigment for stamping on that craft. I've just got some baker's twine. Gina used to sell this in the store. I don't see it now, but you can find this at pretty much any local stamping store that you have. And then if you wish, you could get some little mini clips. I got these at Hobby Lobby. A pack of 60 with a 40% off coupon were $5.18, I believe. That's only about 8 cents a clip, so really good deal. I ended up buying these because I had to make 120 name tags for a banquet at my church. So this was done using all stamps and images from my fabulous holiday label set. But I really wanted to change it up after making that many with the chevron. So I pulled out my fabulous holiday fillers. Just need some scissors for the twine. And then for cutting a hole, you're going to want to use either a crocodile or this is a 1/16 inch hole punch. This is kind of fuzzy though for trying to get the twine through, so I am going to be using the smaller hole on this for my twine. Okay, I think that's all the products that we need, and then a die cutting machine, of course, but I've already die cut my labels. But let's get to stamping these up first, and then we will make those fun backgrounds. So again, I said I'm going to be using some elements from both sets. And today I want to use this little polka dotted one. And I think this goes really well with the little snow scene, either the one with the deer or the one with the little house in my fabulous label set. So that was the inspiration for grabbing that one. But if you look on the website or look at this set here, you can see we've got striped belly band fillers, we've got plaid, and then we've also got houndstooth. So I'm going to fill this in with the Ocean Mist on one. And then we're going to stick with the Ocean Mist, but I'm going to switch over to a different belly band. I want to use the one with the circle cut out in the middle because we've got all those little round elements in this set as well as the new fabulous holiday fillers set. Okay, now I'm going to do the other one with this stamp. And I found just a couple really fun things that you can do with the cutout circle. On one, we're going to put the joy around it, and on the other one, we're going to use the little teddy bear stamp. Okay, so those just nest right into the ends there. So that's all we're doing with the little belly band pieces. And again, these are both from the fabulous holiday fillers set that coordinates with fabulous frame. All right, now what I want to do is I want to go in and I'm going to use this little end cap piece that has that open circle that I mentioned. And we're going to use the red hot on this one. put it on this one right here because I just like those doubled circles, one on top of the other. Okay. I love how that red pops. I always love Ocean Mist with Red Hot. That's one of my favorite color combinations. All right, then what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to the dark chocolate, and I want to add that joy and the teddy bear and then some other elements. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use the tiny block with the J, Y, and it skips over it so that you can change out what you want to have for the O. So we've got joy at the top and then joy at the bottom. And then I'm going to use the sending. Straighten that out a little bit, got a little bit off. The sending on the bottom. So it's going to say sending joy, and then below the joy on top, I'm going to use my made for you. So joy made for you and sending joy. And then we have a lot of different options for how we can fill in the little space for the O. So I am going to use, let's see, on this one, I use the snowflake from the Fabulous Holiday Filler Set. So I'm going to do that again. I'll use the tiny block again. And I'm just going to pop that right in the middle. And then I want to flip this over since I keep pulling them out. Then I want to go in and just fill in the teddy bear above and below. And so I'm just going to peek right over and just pop him in right around that circle. And if you'd like it to be symmetrical so that one's upside down, you can do that. But I wanted them both facing this way. It's just up to you how you want to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead. Now we could put in some of the solid fillers if we want. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and fill in his little tummy on this one. I'm going to switch to the red. I used that same snowflake on the first one, but I'm going to go with the Red Hot, and I'm going to do that in this plaid, just so you can see how the plaid looks stamped. So cute. Okay. And then I'll just go ahead and do this Merry Christmas in the middle, and I'm going to do this with the dark chocolate, but you could use the red or the Ocean Mist if you wish. Right in the middle. Okay. All right, now let's finish up our other tag. And so for this one, I'm going to make that little scene that I mentioned with the little deer. And so I'm going to do this piece with the Ocean Mist. And I love how there's this negative space for you to add the deer or just leave it open, and then it almost looks like it was cut out. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my little deer above it and below it in the brown, that dark chocolate. So I'm going to put one up here as if they're prancing on this little hill of snow. You could put one down here too if you want. I use the large one, but we can just keep it symmetrical on this one. Okay. And then I'm going to take the little heart from this set, and I'm going to put a little heart. Oops. Turn sideways. I'm going to put a little heart here, and that's going to be where I'm going to put my string through, and then a little heart here. And on this one, as you can see, I used one of the greetings from the Fabulous Holiday Filler Set. So this has greetings in it for all occasions, and I made these to go inside that fabulous frame. As you can see here, it's on the ornament, or you can just stamp it right inside your Christmas card. Hoping this holiday is your best ever and wishing we could be together. So, but I think for this one, I'll just use the season's greetings just to change it up. And if you want to further embellish that, you can. Okay, so our tags are done here. So let me just put these aside for a second. So what I would do then is you can just add your little clip or your string. So I used up all of my red that you see here on those name tags that I just mentioned, but you can use about a 6-inch piece here and then just put it through, and I'm going to make a little loop and go around and pull through. So you don't even have to tie. So it's a really small amount of twine on this. And then if you want to make a hole through it to hang your ornament, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the smaller side of this crocodile, and I'm going to go right through this little heart accent from the Fabulous Holiday Filler. So it kind of looks like a little eyelet there. And this piece is about 12 inches long, so I just doubled it. So an easy way to do this is just to make a loop, and then I'm going to push the loop through, and then pull the ends through that. So now it's ready to tie on the branch. And if you want, you can just tie this here at the top and do a knot. And then if you want a little bow at the top, again, just make a loop on one side and then go around, and then you'll have a little bow at the top of your branch. And this can go on a package too. So whatever you wish. I'm just going to put that on there like that. Now let's stamp up our backgrounds. So I've got these two pieces, and what I wanted to show today, I know that I've already used this oval label, I believe, in another video. I know I've shown it in other samples on my blog. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show how you can make this cool, kind of more contemporary looking scallop border. And then of course I always love to do a collage stamp background. So I thought this was really fun to see that don't open until December 25th and no peeking. So we're going to do this in the Ocean Mist on both mats. So it's really fun to stamp up multiple things at a time. And collage stamping, if you're going to mass produce a card like this for the holidays, you could even have a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, stamp it all up, and then cut it down into quarters. But just wanted to make a few of these for the video. You can also think about where you want this opening to be so you can have your Merry Christmas showing. It really just depends on what layout you're going to end up using. If you want to put this horizontal or vertical on your card, and I'm just kind of trying to fill it in and turn it so you see the whole message. I'm just trying to create a little bit of a pattern there. Okay. And on this one, let me center this a little bit better for doing the borders on the side. So I want it to say don't open on one side and then stamp it down so you see the no peeking on the other side. So I always think it's easier to stamp across. So I'm going to turn it this way even though my card is going to be going vertically. So I'm going to start in the middle. I always like to start in the middle when I'm going to make a row of something. And then you know you're going to have the same amount of the oval on either side, and it's just easier to keep it straight. And then we're going to flip it and do the other thing on the other side. And I want the no peeking to come out on this side. It's going to overlap just a tiny bit, but remember your tag is going to be in the way. And again, I don't mind it when stamping overlaps with elements like these. And if you want, you can put something inside of the ovals. I didn't on my card, but there's obviously lots of different options that you can pop in there if you want it to be more filled in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is on this one, I just want to add a little element here in between these different oval borders. So I'm going to put one here, here. So this is the large open snowflake in the Fabulous Holiday Label set. Okay. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill it in with this tiny snowflake here. And I'm going to do this in the brown. And so this is just going to add a nice two-step element. Make it a little more interesting and really tie in that chocolate stamping we did. So I'm lining it up so that each of the little spokes of the snowflake are meeting up with the 6 little end pieces on the larger snowflake. So I just love all the coordination. I love all the mix and match options. I don't think I could ever, you know, really come to the end of what you can do with all these pieces, how many ways you can mix them and all the different color combinations that you can do. Okay, then on this one, I wanted to create a little bit more of a background with some of the smaller elements. So I'm using this tiny tree, and I'm just going to stamp this at random in the dark chocolate. Now all these little shaped pieces that are seasonal, these are also sized to fit inside those round openings also on the belly band and on the end cap. So lots of different ways to decorate these for different holidays and seasons. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add just some of the little red hearts. Love hearts on cards all year round. Oops, missed the top of that there. That's going to get covered up on my tag though. There must be something on that it's cutting off the edge. Sorry about that. And so I'm just trying to fill in just those spaces in between. And then the final element, I just wanted to add one of these cute little circle pieces to tie in some more of that ocean mist. And so I'm going to add this little polka dotted one. And I'm just going to put that in here at random, just so it's peeking out in a few places. It's just really festive. I just love making my own background papers. Gina has so many gorgeous ones that coordinate with her sets on the site. I don't, so I really like to make my own backgrounds that'll coordinate with my stamps just by doing the collage stamping. Okay. All right, and then finally I just want to go in with that Merry Christmas so that I can fill in this oval. And you could use a different greeting if you wanted to. But I just have it so that it's going to be facing different directions. And then once we layer that Fabulous label over it, just like it looks on the Fabulous frame, that's going to work whether you want to position that 3/4 or whether you want to move that around. Now, if you just want to use your tags like this, you can do that, but see, I had these scraps of silver left over, and so I thought that that looked really pretty, just framing this up on top of that. So you could have the oval where it's hanging off even more, or have it bigger so the oval is not hanging off. It's really up to you. And then you would just put this onto your base. And so let me just show it to you in just some different orientations and how that's going to look. Okay, so you could put that at an angle, in the middle, to the sides. It can work off to the side. I'm going to put a little adhesive on there. This side, or in the middle of it like I did on the first card. On this one, I really like how this looks just right down the middle. So what I did here is I adhered this with some of the foam just in the corners, and that way I could clip my ornament on the front and it would just slide right out, so I didn't have to put any adhesive on the back. So I'll show you that right now. And then we're done. Then I just want to show you just quickly how I did that photo ornament. Okay, So I'm going to do it going this way. And then you can just take this ornament and just slide it right on to the card, just like that. Now for the ornament that I did with my son's picture, got his little school picture the other day in the mail, still lets me buy the portrait package. And what I did here is I took those label dies and I just cut them out by, you can either place the oval, or what I did was I just cut out my photo with this. So I had one that was label shaped. It doesn't have to be as big though because it's going to be covered up. Then what I did is I just ran the label die with the oval centered in the middle through my Cuddle Bug so that I have a piece like this. And then I cut out a second one so that I have a piece like this to go on the back. Then you just layer that picture inside. Now, if you want to, you can certainly just cut it out with the oval and layer it on top, but I really like how this looks with the picture underneath and being slightly recessed. Then I stamped this up using some of that white pigment ink. And the pattern that I chose on this one, kind of a more masculine pattern, I used the houndstooth piece. And then I just used that same twine and tied that up the same way. And then I've got the back stamped up, so I like how you can make these two-sided. Again, it's stamped with the houndstooth. Then I've got these little same round end caps stamped in the white. And then I filled it in with the coordinating houndstooth circle. This looks a little bit lighter here, the Merry Christmas. That's because I stamped it first in the white, and I just wanted it to pop a little bit more than it was, so then I went over it just slightly offset, stamping it in that same red hot. So I love this. This would be a great little gift for teachers or for the relatives. I even had a crazy idea right as I was getting this ready that it might be really fun to just pick a bunch of old pictures of my kids and make a bunch of little tags to put on their presents under the tree. So they've got to find their picture instead of the name tag. I don't know. They might not like that game as much as I do, but I think it would be super fun. And then I would have a lot of tags from Christmases past, which